And away we go. It is the Nightcap, brought to you by Galactic Fried Chicken right here on BearcatJournal.com. Visit www.galacticfriedchicken.com. Download the app for Android, iPhone, everything Galactic. Get yourself down to Dayton, Kentucky, Wednesday through Sunday. Lunch and dinner. Tell them to pump it up. Save yourself 15% on your chicken tenders, your fries, your chicken dunkers, all that good stuff. So make it happen. And go visit Shane and our good friends at Galactic Fried Chicken, or go to the app and they'll bring it pretty much anywhere inside the 275 loop right to your front door. And that stuff comes out of the fryers so hot that you could live pretty far away. And by the time it gets there, it's still going to be warm. All right, Aaron, let's get going. There are some...
Don't forget to vote for them on City Beat.
Yep. All right, we do have a couple newsy things that we need to get to that we didn't touch on yesterday, for one, and that is the commitment of a transfer wide receiver from Washington State. His name is Donovan Ali, 6'3", 210 pounds. This past season, 43 catches, 491 yards, 3 touchdowns. 70 catches, 807 yards, and 4 touchdowns in his career at Washington State. This is obviously an outside type wide receiver for the Bearcats. And look, man,
he's a dude.
This is legitimate numbers in a power conference. A guy that's got good size, got good hands. A lot of good reviews from him in his time at Washington State. And somebody you feel like, you know what? Chance to step in and be a guy that makes, a decent impact pretty quickly in his tenure as a Bearcat. Got 1 year left, I believe. So maybe 2. I don't know. My brain doesn't work.
You don't know anybody anymore.
But that's a good one for Cincinnati, Aaron.
Yeah. I mean, you like the size, certainly like the size. 6'3", 210. Let's go.
Yeah.
That's exactly what you want on the outside, especially going into Power Conference, Power 5.
They definitely have a type outside. They've gone for a lot of bigger guys. That receiver room is going to look a little different. Like Dave and I talked about this yesterday when he committed. I don't think that was necessarily a choice from the old staff. I think the old staff wanted bigger guys on the outside. It just so happened that Tyler Scott was a dude, and you had to get him on the field. So I don't think they necessarily wanted to go smaller at that spot. It's just that was the best option. So they're going to be pretty big outside. So that's looks like a good grab. And then today there was a lot of consternation about the commitment of Corey Bullock.
What a weird
week ago?
situation.
A week ago? Yeah, maybe. Well, today you don't have to. If you were upset that they took a MEAC offensive lineman, it's Maryland's problem now because he flipped his commitment from Cincinnati to Maryland. I don't know the specifics.
Have you ever seen anyone in the transfer portal flip?
Yeah,
commitments?
Cincinnati did it with Radosevich, right?
I don't know.
He was committed to Colorado State and flipped to Cincinnati.
And maybe I wasn't paying attention that much.
I guess what the issue, like what I don't know here, and what my spidey senses tell me, he's from Maryland.
Right.
I'm guessing Maryland got in after the fact, after his commitment to Cincinnati.
He had an official this weekend, I believe.
Right. So that's what I think is what happened. I think, it just another opportunity presented itself, and it gave him a chance to go back home and kind of play for that, home state school, and he flipped to Maryland.
Are we not doing NLIs though when people commit? Like, I guess that's where.
Oh, there's no transfers. Don't sign letters of intent.
So when does it become official? Just when classes start, enrollment start.
When you go to class. That first class you go to is when you start as a transfer.
It's so weird.
You can enroll. And as long as you don't go to that first class, you are not officially a student at that university.
I guess I think there should be something more.
It's difficult because they're transfers. Like you can in real life, you could have decided to transfer to right state to somewhere and then at the last minute, Cincinnati became what you wanted to do, there's no penalty for doing. Like, if it's for me, if you can do it as a regular student, then it's fair game in football.
Fair enough, I guess. I don't know. It just seems odd to me that you can enroll, be ready to go, have given your commitment to a school, and then turn around and be like, you know what? Nah, I got this other thing.
Welcome to college football.
I know everything's weird right now. I mean, you have potentially the number one pick in the NFL holding out and possibly staying on
at Ohio State.
Right. For NIL. And I mean, when you're talking about a 24 million, I think the number one pick automatically makes 24 million.
It's up there. Yeah, it's way up there.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
There's no reason to be paying a college kid 24 million ever.
Unless he's good enough to win you a national championship.
No. Go make your money in the pros.
Yeah, but I'm saying if you're the college, if he's good enough to win you a national championship, then he's well worth the 24 million.
No, not if you're the kid. If you're the kid, go make your money in the pro. Listen, you have 1 year left in college, and if you get injured, if your leg breaks off, you're screwed.
Okay. And if your leg doesn't break off and you tell Ohio State, I've got 24 million guaranteed, so you're going to have to give me 25 to stay, and you get that 25, and then next year you go get your 24 from the NFL, now you got 50.
Yep, but you've lost 1 year of your professional career.
Okay, but no, you didn't, because you made $25 million at Ohio State. That's professional as a motherfucker, bro.
The shelf life of a player is how long they can play. And if you have just taken 1 year off of that, you're 1 year less inclined to make the Hall of Fame.
You made the money.
Get out of here. You would have made the money anyway. You can't.
That 24 million in the NFL is guaranteed over 4 years. You could get yourself 25 million in 1 year at Ohio State.
I don't like the direction this
I don't necessarily like it, but I'm saying from the kid's perspective, I get it.
Fucking bananas.
All right. You wanted to do a recap, a summary with the Kelsey boys on buys this week. I think that's pretty much it. Did we determine that was it for the rest of the?
So I have updates on that.
Okay.
We want to talk about hashtag Bearcats in the NFL, which I pretty much I took over that hashtag, and regardless of what anyone wants to say, maybe they stumbled upon it. I know I did initially, but I don't know that anybody else is beating that drum louder and harder than I am. That all said, here is a list of all of the Bearcats in the NFL as things currently stand, according to ProFootballReference.com. Myjay, Desmond Ridder, Justin Murray with the Buffalo Bills, by the way. He is on the practice squad, though. So if the Bills win, he would get a ring, though.
Yes.
Kevin Huber, also still on the practice squad with the Cincinnati Bengals, although, again, not active. Jerome Ford, Cleveland Browns. James Hudson, Cleveland Browns. Mike Boone, Denver Broncos. Josiah DeGuara, Green Bay Packers. James Wiggins, Green Bay Packers. Eric Wilson, Green Bay Packers. Jared Dokes, Houston Texans. Chris Moore, Houston Texans. Alec Pierce, Indianapolis Colts. Brian Cook, Kansas City Chiefs. Travis Kelce, Kansas City Chiefs. So you still have Brian Cook as well.
Yeah.
Also active. Marquise Copeland, LA Rams. Darian Beavers, New York Giants. He is on the reserve list. Corey Cunningham, also with the New York Giants, but he is on the practice squad.
Big country.
Sauce Gardner with the New York Jets. Jason Kelce with the Eagles on bye, as you mentioned. Kobe Bryant got knocked out with the Seattle Seahawks last night. Curtis Brooks with the Titans, and Defoe with the Washington Commanders.
Yes.
And at your leisure, feel free to browse over the stats. If you want a copy of this spreadsheet, feel free to hit me in my mentions on Twitter. I'm not going to go over all of this, but this is all of the stats that I compiled that I thought were worth mentioning. But it was a hell of a year, biggest year ever, I would venture to say, for Bearcats in the NFL. They did end up with 3 Pro Bowl,
All-Pro.
There it is, 3 All-Pro. It's not nominations, but finalists.
Selections. No, select first team All-Pro. Yeah.
In Jason Kelsey, Travis Kelsey, and Sauce Gardner. Sauce doing it as the first rookie to do so in 41 years.
Well,
which
first
is,
rookie corner.
Yes. Good correction.
Yeah.
But crazy.
Do you know who he's the first one since?
I read it and I don't recall off the top of my head.
This puts in perspective how long it's been since anybody has done this. Ronnie Lott.
That's crazy.
I know.
That's
crazy. Yeah.
That's
Ronnie Lott.
That's a storied name of yesteryear.
Right. That one of the greats of all time, Ronnie Lott.
I mean,
41 years ago.
41 years ago is 3 years older than me.
Yeah. 4 years younger than me.
Crazy. But it was a fantastic year. Obviously, lots of guys starting. We saw more starters than probably ever the Cincinnati Bearcats have ever had. I think there were only 3 colleges, if I remember correctly, that finished with more all-pro selections. Don't recall.
Alabama had 4. That was it.
That was okay. So we were tied with several others at 3.
No.
Oh, okay.
Here's the crazy thing.
Ohio State didn't have any. Weird.
Alabama 4, Cincinnati 3. I believe it was. Now it's slipping my brain.
One of my last tweets.
Oklahoma. I think it was Oklahoma with 2, and then nobody else with more than 1. So only one of 3 schools that had more than 1 All-Pro, and second to Alabama with 3. And guess what? As long as Jason comes back, it'll be that way again next year. Because right now, Jason is the best center in the NFL. Travis is the best tight end in the NFL. And Sauce has got a lot of all-pros to put next to his name. And I'm going to tell you this also. This year makes it a lock, Aaron. I don't think there is any conversation to be had anymore. Travis and Jason Kelsey are going into the Hall of Fame.
100%. I don't think that can be argued anymore at this point in time.
If there was an argument,
they shut the book on the argument. Yeah,
it's gone.
Not only are you going to have the stats to back it up, but you also have the clout. And let's not pretend that doesn't mean something. That certainly means something. And they've built the clout with their podcast. They're a household name, both of them, at this point.
They both have great personalities. The media loves them. They both have championships. They both got a ring. They are locks for Canton. I actually mentioned it to Kelsey the other day. I said, when Trav goes in, we going to Canton? She's like, yeah. When's that going to be? I'm like, well, you can only get in 5 years after you retire. Right. And she's like, well, he's not retiring anytime soon. I'm like, probably another 3, 4, 5 years, I would guess.
Depends on how long old Ketchup Steak can keep him in the NFL.
Right. But yeah, those dudes are going in the Hall of Fame. It's not even debatable at this point.
No, and again, I just want to reemphasize, it was a lot of fun to do #Bearcats in the NFL. It kept my Sundays going. I know people talk about the red zone being like cocaine, where it's just nonstop all day long and go, no commercials.
Football, right?
That's how my Twitter feed felt on Sundays with #Bearcats in the NFL this year, and it was a lot of fun. So,
get used to it now. That's your cross to bear.
Cool.
Every year. I know you enjoyed it.
Sounds dreadful.
Right? Maybe next year we'll add you can do a little write-up. Or just have like a
people might actually read it compared to the AAC recap.
Well, and I mean you can embed Twitter stuff in it. So if you find something interesting on Twitter on one of the guys, you can put that in there. Maybe we'll get that going next year, and you can have that up for like Sunday night, Monday night, Tuesday morning, depending on if they've got somebody on Monday Night Football. We'll come up with something. We'll workshop it. Yeah. And Sauce also announced that he will be this offseason getting his degree from the University of Cincinnati. He did 3.5 years at UC, if you count the summer before he got there, or before before camp started. And he is going to get his degree and walk down the aisle and be a graduate at the University of Cincinnati. Awesome.
How cool is that?
Yeah.
How cool is that? And obviously important to him. I'm certain it was important to his family, and just cool to see him going back and getting something done that he started at the university. He didn't follow the big guy, but at the university where he got it done at.
There he is, right there. Right there.
Just happy to see it.
Yeah, very much so. All right. Well, I know you're ready to jump out of your skin. So
chomping at the bit.
What do you got? What do you got before we get out of here?
I mean, I took in several places with free bets. All the free bets I had left have been placed on this game. If they win, and if they beat the spread at 8.5 and they beat the over at 40.5, I will be sitting probably over $1,000 richer.
I only worry, I don't think the Ravens can score enough to beat them, but that Ravens defense had Joe looking very confused at times last Sunday, and that concerns me. Well,
the first game especially.
Yeah, but if you take away those turnovers that they scored on the short field, he was off last Sunday.
I'm saying the first game against the Ravens, he looked, Joe was very confused, especially.
I know. And he was also off in the most recent one.
Let's also consider the fact that they did not open the playbook, knowing that they were going to potentially have to play them 2 weeks in a row.
Sure, but you played them twice, and he has not looked like
exceptional,
big money Joe. Both
when
times.
When it mattered last year, though, against the Ravens,
he got it done. Yeah, But this is not last year.
Correct.
They did not have Roquan Smith.
They did not, who became the highest paid linebacker in NFL history. So
right.
I don't know. I'm hoping, like I said, 8.5 and 40.5. I'm worried. 40.5. I'm worried about.
I would worry about 40.5. I would have been with the Ravens not having Lamar. I would have been inclined probably to take the under.
Well, Lamar hadn't put out his own injury report when I took all these free bets. There were expiration dates on the free bets. Okay,
it's fair. It's fair. But yeah, it's. I think it's going to be close. Hopefully for you, the Bengals get a score late to pad the margin. I think it's going to be within a touchdown.
Hopefully the Bengals put up 35. The Ravens put up 14.
10.
Call it a day. Call it a day.
The games have been really close so far. We haven't had, a game that ends with some separation. Well, San Francisco pulled away late.
Did you see the $1,400,000 bet
to
on
win
the Chargers?
11,000
on the Chargers to win 11,000
and lost. You idiot!
What are we doing?
You idiot! If you want to catch next time you want to catch $1.4 million on fire, just give me like $500,000.
I'd take 100.
Give me the 400, and then you can bet the $1 million, and I'll take the 400K, and we'll be good. All right. Enjoy the game, Aaron. Have a good night. We'll see you hopefully tomorrow. Aaron, Brent, and Royer for sure. Hopefully I'll be there. This is the Nightcap, brought to you by Galactic Fried Chicken, right here on BearcatJournal.com.
Hoo day. See ya.